Cutlass 442, fresh out the paint shop. It's dirty because it was raining and we pulled it in, but just got it out the paint shop. Going with 24-inch ruccis, matching steering wheel. .12 wide, 6-inch lip, frame notch. So I got my first piece cut out, used the plasma cutter real quick. So I just want to make a video and show you guys the process that I go from this point on. So once you cut your initial piece out, whatever method you use to cut it out, first of all, you got a gas line right here on any factory car, runs down the driver's side, sits on this frame right here. So if you take a pry bar, you just bend it up real easy and stick something. I just jammed a little piece of metal I had around, jammed it up in there to hold that up so that you don't accidentally nick it. You just got to be aware that you know that it's there when you get to cutting back in here. So show you guys the inside of the frame. Try to get a little light. So you see right there on the inside of this frame, as I tell you guys, these two pieces of the frame are sandwiched together. This piece is like a C shape. It's slid inside of the other piece, so you have that same lip on the top as well as the bottom. So what I like to do is, I get my angle grinder with the cutoff wheel. I buy these thin, they're called 3-inch thin cutoff wheels at Harbor Freight. It's like 5 of them for a couple bucks. They work pretty good. There's a lot more expensive ones on the market, but Harbor Freight is right down the street. So, you know, you might burn through a lot of these, but they're only like $3, $4 for a pack of 5. So what I like to do is, like I said, I get my initial cut out. So I just rough cut it real quick, got all of that bulk metal out. So now I'm gonna take my cutoff wheel and I'm gonna go inside and I'm gonna follow that line. I'm gonna keep my cutoff wheel tight to that lip and I'm gonna follow that line all the way down, all the way around. And the lip is a lot thicker back here. And as it comes up in this area up here, it's only like this thin right here. So try to see if I can show you guys. You see it gets a lot thinner up in there. And then as it comes, it's thin all the way through here. And as it comes back to the back again, it gets a little thicker. So I just follow that line with my cutoff wheel and I just take my time and I cut it right against this piece of metal and I cut that out. And that's gonna give you a nice starting point. The same way on the top. You can get in there with your cutoff wheel, same thing. You see the line right there? You're gonna follow it all the way around. Just cut that whole bulk of metal out of there. Then once you get that bulk metal cut out of there, you can take your rim, put your rim on. Usually just by cutting it on that seam, on the inside, like I said, on the top and the bottom, usually you can clear most rims. By this wheel being a 12 wide with a 6-inch lip, I definitely want to put it on here before I weld anything in there and make sure that my cut is correct and that everything is gonna work. These wheels came off of, they're not brand new, but they still got the sticker. He didn't have them on a car very long. He had them on I think it was a SS Monte Carlo, but he had adapters on the front and the back. So had adapters on the back to keep it up off the frame. So it's a friend of mine, he want his stuff notched. He want to be able to ride and, you know, not have to worry about adapters. So we're gonna knock the rear out, try to get him done by the weekend. And it's supposed to be nice this weekend. We're in Ohio, so he want to ride a little bit. Just got it out the paint shop, new exhaust, everything done. Inside of the car, clean car. I don't know where he got this car from, but somebody took care of it. So anyway, like I said, rough cut. I cut all of that stuff out at that lip on both sides from the inside, cut it out, put my rim on, make sure it fits. Now the same thing I do up here. You see, I just got me a rough line right here. I'm gonna use this factory section of metal, but I'm gonna cut back right along this top edge and I'm gonna beat that in. So it's gonna cock in like this. So whatever my strip is that goes down here, of course it'll be a lot closer in the frame. It's gonna come down. I'm gonna bend this piece in and it's probably gonna go in. You see that right there? It's probably gonna go in 1.5 inches, 2 inches. So I'm gonna use this factory metal. I'm just gonna cut that seam right at that fold right there. I'm gonna heat it up and bend that in, and then I'll cut my excess off and I'll re-weld that closed. Then my new piece of metal will start from that point and close all of this back up. Now, like I said, I always weld new metal in here on the back side of this frame for structure, because if I had the car off, the body off the frame, I could put braces back here and brace all of this ass end in and do all of the stuff with the tubing and make it real strong. But since I can't do that because the body is on here, I'm gonna take that same piece of metal right there that I cut out. So now you got your curves and everything in there. You're gonna have to trim it up some, but you're gonna cut plates. Now you see it's a flat spot starting right here. You see like it's kind of a line right there. The frame goes flat from there and it comes up to right here. It kind of bows in a little bit right there. So that's one flat spot. You're gonna weld you a flat piece in there. You're gonna weld you another flat piece back here. You see a line right here. It's kind of a line in the frame. It's a little hump right here, but you're gonna cut it around, cut it up. You're gonna weld you another plate back in here. And then I'll put me a small plate between these two holes. I'll make me another small plate, beat it in there, and plate to the back of this frame. That gives you a lot more structure, a lot more strength in this rear of this frame. And I'll make me another piece probably down in here. I'll just try to cut me something out with the plasma cutter. Make me another little piece to go up under this and weld it down in there just to give it some more strength too. So that's my process. I know I've made a few of these videos on TikTok, but I just wanted to make another video and show y'all because I just opened the frame up just now and I just wanted to show y'all the process step by step. If you don't have, you can do it like I said with the cutoff wheel. You can cut this initial chunk of metal out with anything you want. If you don't have a plasma cutter, I used to do it just with the cutoff wheel. You can do it with the small cutoff wheel, the 3-inch cutoff wheel angle grinder, or you can do it with your big grinder with this, you know, a regular old cutoff wheel. It's a lot harder, or you can get you a body saw. This is the body saw off the tool truck. It's a real nice, strong body saw. You can put Sawzall blades in here as well. This off the Mac tool truck, but they make many different kinds. You can get a cheap one from Harbor Freight. This is a Harbor Freight body saw blade. It'll cut right through this stuff too. You just got to take your time. So if I wanted to, I could take this body saw, cut me a little incision in here with a cutoff wheel, and I could stick that body saw in from the bottom and just follow that same line I'm telling you guys about this inside of there and just take my time and cut it real slow. That body saw cut through this metal, no problem. You just got to take your time and let the saw do the work. Don't be trying to push on it and, you know, just let that saw just cut, and it'll cut you a nice line in there too. And I've seen a lot of guys do that, and I've done it before as well. And it works just fine. So it's whatever method you use, whatever tools that you have on hand. But, you know, like I always tell people, man, don't be scared to try this stuff, man. These shops, you know, I charge reasonable price. $1,000 for the front, $1,000 for the back. That comes with me supplying all of the metal, all of the welding. The frame will be fully undercoated when I get done, painted, all of that stuff. Usually what I do is, if a guy comes and gets the front and the back done at the same time, I'll do it for him for $1,800. You know, knock 100 off the front, 100 off the back. So I'll do it for $1,800. And like I said, that includes me supplying the metal and doing all the welding, doing the painting and everything after it's done. So, you know, I know a lot of other shops in different areas. Like I said, I'm in Ohio. A lot of other shops, they charge a lot more money. Some shops charge upwards, you know, $1,500, $1,800, $2,000 just to notch the rear. You know, and then you got some shops that'll just cut the rear and bend the metal in. They'll just cut the sides of this piece of metal right here, heat it up and bend that same piece of metal in there, and then weld the seam back and cut the excess off. That works too if you're not running a real wide wheel. So I'm not going to say that that's not a proper way to do it, because you can do it that way. It's just kind of only giving you a little bit, you know, an inch, maybe 1.5 inches or something like that. But yeah, I just want to make this video, like I said, 12 wide, 6-inch lip. Car clean as hell on the inside. Everything factory except for the steering wheel, floor shifter. I mean, nice car. But I want to make this video and show y'all the process from the beginning so you could get a kind of an idea. I know I made some other videos, like I said, but I don't think I really went into detail about that part. Once I get everything cut out of there, I'll make another video and show y'all the plates I welded in there and everything like that. Appreciate y'all watching.